keeping zombies alive. I met with firefighters a few days ago at the Hollywood station, and they were telling me the amount of Narcan they go through. So in one night I talked to MacArthur Park, their fire station. He did 17 overdoses in one night.
Jeez.
So if they're not there, given the Narcan, the amount of people dying is even more insane. Right now, 6 people are dying a day in the street. And then they say, oh, this is compassionate. These people have rights. No, these people do not have rights to just die. We need to protect these people as humans. And again, that's why my whole thing is enforce the law. It is illegal to just be doing fentanyl on the street. So if we come in and we give you mandatory treatment, not jail, if you're not, some of these people are just straight going to jail for animal abuse. They're torturing animals all day long on Skid Row. The videos that I get sent, once you see them, you can't unsee them. Not to mention now I'm working with all the rescue ones, the ones they text me, and they're just like, Spencer, we have to stop this. And the city knows. They call the cops all day long. The cops come and they say, LAPD's hands are tied. If the mayor and the city attorney, they don't have enforce the law, they just get away with it. So we're in Mad Max life in Los Angeles, and people like to say, oh, I'm from LA. I've grown up, and I keep saying I'm fighting to get LA back to what I grew up. It was beautiful. It's why I wanted to be on a TV show and be famous and be part of Hollywood. It was magical. Not even mention Hollywood is now gone. The fact that Hollywood Boulevard should be the greatest tourist attraction in the world. You couldn't pay me right now to go on Hollywood Boulevard, step on human feces, the smell of pee, inhaling everyone can just smoke fentanyl on the streets now. It's psycho. So again, once you start digging in and you spend all your life now exposing this, because again, they burn my house down. They burn my mom's house down. They put me in the game. And once the bubble's gone, all I have is this energy to stop this. Not to mention now the amount of thousands of messages I get every day from every part of the city sending me photos. There's parents that when they drive to school all across the city, this is not just one unique area, they have to have their kids in the backseat staring at an iPad, not to look out the window, because meth addicts will just be having sex on the side of the street. There's just naked people everywhere now. And when I say people, naked zombies. And the DEA will tell you 90% of these homeless people have a drug problem. We have a drug addict problem. These aren't people that just missed a paycheck and we need to get them help and get back. This is a drug problem that needs mandatory treatment, not handing people needles and pipes and saying, oh, here's $1 million bed. If you're a fentanyl zombie hanging upside down, you don't care about $1 million empty bed because you're just high, you sober up and you go get high again. But what were we talking about? You got me pumped up.
It's good. It's good to be pumped up. There's no other explanation other than extensive fraud. There's no way they could be getting that much money from our taxes and have this big of a problem with crime and with homelessness. And it's almost like they want everybody to feel helpless. They want you to feel like there's nothing you do so that it justifies throwing more money at the problem. Pull that article up again. So here it is. This is an LAist homelessness deal now under federal investigation. So even in LA's famously overheated real estate market, the profit and quick turnaround on senior housing complex and what's that word? Cheviot? How do you say that word? Cheviot Hills. Do you know where that is?
Uh-huh.
Neighborhood seems extraordinary. The man at the center of the deal, since identified by federal prosecutors as Brentwood landlord and developer Stephen Taylor, bought the property on Shelby Drive in 2023 for $11.2 million. Purchase record shows. Okay, so this is exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. $27.3 million to pay for that acquisition came from taxpayer grant funds authorized by city and state officials, according to grant documentations. LA Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Newsom touted the purchase as a key tool in the fight against homelessness, that they're losing. The deal called for Taylor's involvement to be kept secret according to a confidentiality clause included in the purchase contract obtained through a public records request that changed last month when federal authorities announced criminal charges against Taylor. He's accused of submitting fraudulent documents to borrow money from private lenders when he bought this and other properties. So, news conference, Region's top federal prosecutor, Bill Asaley, said the investigation is ongoing. Taylor was arrested in August when the case was under seal and pleaded not guilty, court records show. It's the first of the 2 known criminal cases brought so far by the federal task force Asaley assembled in April to investigate fraud and corruption around the use of billions of dollars earmarked to combat homelessness in Southern California. So these people are just buccaneers. They're just buccaneers. This is just a gigantic criminal enterprise that exists under this guise of, being kind.
So that case only exists because of that mom, Samantha, did 7,500 of her own public records requests on that senior citizen home. And then the FBI came, she started posting it, and the FBI knocked on her door and said, can we meet with you? And she gave them all of her files. So it's back to what I was saying. The feds wouldn't even got that story if this woman, Samantha, from the Integrity Project didn't do 7,000 public records requests and build this case on her own because she was what's going on in my next door neighbor.
This episode is brought to you by Ketone IQ. The demands on my time, energy, and focus are immense. So when I need my brain to lock in for hours and hours and fire at its fastest, most alert state, I'm taking Ketone IQ. It's an energy shot powered by this little miracle molecule that your body already naturally makes, and your brain especially loves. Ketones. I've been talking about ketones for over a decade, and this company's finally figured out how to put them in a bottle. When I take Ketone IQ, I drop right into a state of laser-like focus and sustained mental clarity, whether I'm podcasting, training in the gym, or just want to show up locked in when it matters. The difference is night and day with Ketone IQ. Visit ketone.com/Rogan for 30% off your subscription order. Or find Ketone IQ at Target stores nationwide in the protein and electrolyte aisle and get your first shot free. Plus, they have a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's how confident they are that you're going to love the increased focus you get from Ketone IQ. Well, this has got to be just one piece of the puzzle.
That's $30 million of $25+ billion.
This is an extensive, coordinated effort to siphon money.
100%. And again, there's plenty of money to stop homelessness. Karen Bass will tell you, let's use her low number, made up number. They go around and they count. They drive. This is a real thing. They drive around and they do the homeless count. You can volunteer and you just count. Like, 1, 2. So
that's how they do it?
Yes. They just had a count recently. So the count supposedly is, let's say 45,000. The Rand Corporation will say that count is 30% low. I'll say that count's 100% low. But even so, let's say there's 100,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. $20 billion. Okay, that's California. Let's bring it down to, in the last year or two, a couple $1 billion. We can't get people off the street with that much money. Just today, this DSA city council member was doing a video. She's bragging about, I just secured $16 million grant. I love when they use the grant. I just got $16 million more of our tax money. And she is putting in little tiny homes next to somebody, like just next to a normal street where, again, this shouldn't be where that is. And it's housing approximately, they say, 60 people or whatever. It was $250,000 per person that they're bragging about. $250,000 a person can get anybody sober a nice little condo or apartment for a year, potentially whatever job tools you need. So this idea that it takes $250,000 to put a tiny, it's everyone's getting a cut. It's like, again, it's like the mafia.
So there's a bunch of things going on. There's a bunch of employees that are getting paid So, and getting paid substantial amounts of money. You know, my friend Colion Noir found this out about San Francisco. So he went up to San Francisco. He saw all this homelessness, and he's a lawyer, but he's also, he doesn't know what's going on over there. He's like, wow, what's going on? Do they need more money? He's like, no. What's going on is they're actually incentivized to have more homeless people, because the more homeless people, the bigger the bureaucracy grows. The bigger you can have your homeless foundation, your homeless task force, whatever it is. And these people are making $250,000 a year plus, which is insane. And he showed the list of the salaries of all these people. Like, how are you getting paid when the problem keeps getting worse? And all you're doing is hiring more people, and they're getting paid more money, and more projects and more grants and more homelessness. And it's not getting any better, but the money keeps coming in. So you're incentivized to keep the problem.
And increase it.
Yes.
More money. It's a business.
Right.
And, you know, people always talk, I grew up and I was well aware of the military industrial complex. But even with that, they track the bombs and the fighter jets. It's even crazier because there's no, I think we serve, they use the word serve and cared for. They don't track results. They say, oh, we house 1,400 people. For a night, two nights, you know, it's not like we're getting people have bracelets and we're tracking them and they're getting air tags. We have no idea what's going on. So again, I keep saying, as mayor, I'll enforce the laws, because you cannot be a crazed drug addict zombie just running amok naked on the street. That is why, thank God, our amazing Democrats in California made this year SB 43. And that means if you can't manage your own mental state, you can come in and have the psych hold for 72 hours. And if it seems like, oh, this person needs real treatment, it can go to 45 days. And then it can go up to a year conservatorship. And as mayor, what I keep telling people is, once you start enforcing the law, first off, people who just want to do drugs and live on the streets, they will leave LA, because they'll see, oh, this mayor's not playing around. We need to go somewhere else. Or they're so crazy and we're going to help them get medical treatment. Or they're one of these dog abusing type people, and I'm going to put them under the jail to the point where once they get from under the jail, somehow, if they ever get out, they will never come back to LA, because now they've been under the jail and they're going to go under 2 times more till they end up in prison. Because if you abuse animals, once you see what I've seen, we're talking they're stapling dogs' eyes closed.